appreciate that. All right, our episode sponsor today is SRP. Salt River Project's here, a longtime supporter of the Chamber, and we're so grateful for that as well. They're a locally community-based nonprofit organization providing reliable, affordable, sustainable water and energy to 2 million people in central Arizona. Please join me in welcoming our guest today, the Manager of Local Government Affairs, Linda Brady.
Down in the street there is silent.
Hi, Linda. Good morning. I'm sorry. I'm learning how to do this, so I'm sorry. Shake your hand. There you go. Thank you, Linda, for being here today. You've been with SRP for a while. How many years have you been with SRP?
I'm new compared to many employees at SRP. I've been there 15 years. Usually employees, when you ask, they've been there 30 or 40. So I'm still a newbie. I just got business cards. You get those when you hit the 15-year mark.
At the 15-year mark. There you go. So you're still a recruit, like a recruit firefighter, still learning the job. Wow, okay, good. Well, welcome. We're so happy you're here. Can you share some of the projects that your organization is currently doing or some of the things that are going on in SRP today?
Yes. Well, this is probably all utilities in Arizona, and you've probably been reading about it in the papers and also nationwide, that there is a tremendous need for more energy. And the growth is just going to be phenomenal, that unlike anything that we've experienced before. So I'll give you an example. SRP is 120 years old. So what we've done in 120 years with the power that we've built up, all the generation, all the transmission, the wires, everything, we're going to have to double that in less than 10 years, maybe more than double that in less than 10 years. And again, it's not just us, it's all the utilities. So we're trying to figure that out. That's a big, big lift.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons that for this. One is business expansion, more companies coming to the area. And then two, remember our last 2 summers, how hot they were? We were having hotter summers. And then frankly, just even more people moving here.
Right.
So to do that, you have to look at all kinds of energy sources. You can't just rely on one. So we call it an all-of-the-above approach. And we have solar, wind, other renewables, hydropower, nuclear, gas, geothermal, a lot more. I can't even keep track of them all. It's a lot. But you need that diverse mix so that for gas, for example, you can just fire that up real quickly if you need to. If the clouds cover all the solar and you need suddenly that boost of power, you can use gas. And so having that variety, you can also implement lower cost technology. And in the end, it keeps your power reliable, and then it also keeps costs lower for customers when you diverse.
Yeah, wow. Do you have a lot of customers doing your savings plan, where they pay the same amount per month? Has that been helpful to SRP?
Yes, I do that myself. I save hundreds of dollars a year by doing that.
Yeah, okay, that's a good. How about any plans on the horizon, any new developments at SRP that you want to share with the group?
Sure, there's an interesting project that's going to be a pump storage project, and it's going to be up near Apache Lake, and where we're proposing to build another lake a little bit up higher. And during the day, this is how it works, just very generally, if there's a ton of solar power during the day and you don't need it all at that time, we can use that power to pump the water up into this upper lake. And then we store it up there. And then when we need the power, we can release it and get hydropower from it. Again, so it's a really cheap way to keep costs down, but it will provide a lot of extra power. So that's one interesting project. And
that's a very big project.
I think City of Mesa is involved with that with us. City of Mesa is really tight partnership with
That's wonderful. We're going to get to that too. Mr. Brady will be telling us all about that as well, for sure. Thank you for what you do. I know that SRP, everybody loves SRP in the summertime when our air conditioners are working. And then when they're not working, do you guys get when the power goes out, and the air conditioner's not working, I'm sure the phones go off.
Oh, yes.
Well, thank you for what you do. We're thankful that you have a plan in place and things are working and moving forward with SRP. Linda, I'm going to ask you to stay here for a minute. And this month we have a new opportunity with a commercial sponsor. If I may turn your attention to stage right. I'd like to welcome Norm Duve from Copa Health. Take it away, Norm.
I work for a nonprofit, so commercial sponsorship is really fun. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Every year it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And for, I think, the 5th year in a row, we have partnered with Fellowship Square, great organization, and the Chamber of Commerce to put together a campaign called 31 Days of Healing. So if you're not following the Chamber on social media or Copa Health on social media, follow us. We've got podcasts that the Chamber's helped us put together. We've got public service announcements every day from all kinds of great people across the county and the state, and we've got a lot of great content. None of us are unaffected by mental health issues, and Mental Health Awareness Month is the time for us to think about it, even though I'm hoping you're thinking about it all year long. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm over there. I've got gift business cards. In fact, my CEO told me if I get rid of them all, she's going to give me a free set of steak knives. So,
Are they Cutco or what? Are they
yeah,
Cutco?
I hope so. I hope so. But anyway, and if you're ever interested in being involved, especially next year for Mental Health Awareness Month, let me or Sally or Myra or Bob know, and we will get you involved. It doesn't take a lot. A couple hours of your time, and you're going to be able to make a huge impact on a lot of people's lives. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Norm. Welcome. Thank you so much, Norm. Appreciate that. So, Norm, you got business cards with how many years on the job there?
24.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Then you're ahead of the game. You're actually ahead of the game. You got him at 15. All right. Thank you, Norm. We appreciate that. All right. Our next guest, right here from Mesa, Arizona. He came in Arizona in 2006, and Mr. Brady came from San Antonio. I'll let you tell him the story, but he has more than 30 years experience in the public sector management. And also, he is the city manager for the city of Mesa, for a municipality. We have over 4,000 city employees. He has an annual operating budget, capital budget of $1.8 billion, and a population of over 500,000 people here in the city of Mesa. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Chris Brady to the stage. Mr. Brady, what song are you singing today?
Not.
Okay. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That was on the different script.
From the Brady Bunch.
Oh, that's right.
That's
There we go.
right.
That
We
worked.
can do that. We can do that.
Very good. Mr. Brady, knowing that your time with us is coming to a close, I even hate to say it like that, but he's retiring at the end of the month here. And that's why we wanted to invite you here to Mesa Morning Live to show our gratitude and our appreciation for all you've done for the city of Mesa and for Mesa Morning Live.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And we wanted to get as many Bradys on stage as possible. So if there's any more out there, Shauna, we'll just have like the Brady bunch up here.
So it's funny because when we go to, Lynn and I often go to different conferences or State of the City, and everybody thinks that she's my conference wife or my State of the City wife. And we have to sit by each other because people were concerned when they didn't see us next to each other. Something was wrong at the Brady household, so.
Okay, there you go. And we don't want people to worry about that.
Yeah.
Chris, start by telling us a little bit about what did you think of the city of Mesa when you first got here in 2006?
Well, I guess it wasn't as much as what I thought. I mean, that was part of it. It was really what Mesa thought of themselves. When I first got here, before I even started, I had been offered the job. The job had been, the council had made the decision to appoint me to be city manager. And I went back to San Antonio because it was going to be a month or two before I started. And there was this reporter who called me from the Arizona Republic and asked, congratulated me on being appointed a city manager, but wanted my views on something that was happening in the Valley. And what was happening is back in 2005, 2006, Google, back then, was looking for a large building regional headquarters that they wanted to come into the Valley. And so all the cities were weighing in on why they were the best. Phoenix was, trying to suggest that you need to come to Phoenix or Scottsdale or Tempe. And they were calling all the cities and asking them, hey, what are you going to do to bring Google to your city? And she goes, we called Mesa. And Mesa said, well, you know, we're probably just, that's just probably not for us. We don't think we can compete. And we're not going to make an offer. She goes, what do you think about that? And you know, when you're in Texas, and it's very true, when you're in Texas, you're like, nobody's better than we are. And so I kind of had that attitude. I'm like, well, that's not how we're going to do it when I'm there.
Okay.
And to the credit, we've had great leadership, right, from mayors and council members. And I think what I've seen, both how people that are part of Mesa, including the chamber and everyone here, we've kind of changed a little bit to say, well, we're not just this big suburb of Phoenix, right? We have our own identity, and we can be as good as anybody, and we can compete with anybody. Now, are we the best in everything? No, but do we think we can compete and go out there and bring Apple to Mesa, or bring Google to Mesa, or Gulfstream, or work with Boeing on expanding? Yeah, and we do now, right?
Yeah.
We don't hesitate to say, yeah, we're going to go for it. And with Linda, oftentimes together, the city and SRP are out there competing. You know, when we competed with Apple, it wasn't Mesa and Phoenix or Chandler. It was Mesa versus Malaysia versus Austin, Texas.
Oh.
That's what our competition was. And we have a saying at City Hall. We call it, and you know this, Mary, we call it doing it the Mesa way. And where that came from is when we won the Apple site to come to Mesa, we talked to the people at Apple. Well, you know, what made the difference? They said, because you guys just went out of your way to make sure things went very smooth. You got things done very quickly. And they said, you know, they just do it the Mesa way. And so we adopted that, right, Mary?
Yes, yep,
So
we
today in the city of Mesa, that is one of those kind of like Nike slogans, right? We say, we do it the Mesa way.
Yep.
So that's where it came from.
That's very cool. That is really cool. And yes, Mr. Brady does remind us about the Mesa way, and we do try to honor that and live that every day. Chris, I understand that you have been a huge supporter of this Mesa Morning live show. Can you kind of give us a little...
Yeah, they're right there, all the staff.
Can you give us a little history of how the city of Mesa and Mesa Morning Live and Chamber partnered
You
to get
know,
Mesa
it
Morning?
sounded like the previous conversation where Sally said, you know, I could really use some help. What do you think about? It was Sally. I mean, it was like, I'm like, well, sure, why wouldn't I do that? Of course, we'll do that. No, so we recognize that it's been a great opportunity for not only the chamber, for the community to have different voices. I remember once, many years ago, being here and meeting then the state treasurer, Doug Ducey, who was on the show, and getting ready to run for governor. So, you know, this has, I think, been a great venue for the chamber and for our community, for the businesses. So, yeah, I think it's been a great opportunity to have a venue like this, or have an opportunity to put this on our channel 11. We like that, so that's good.
For sure. Excellent. All right, Chris, I had asked Linda to stay on stage with us because SRP has been such an incredible partner with the city of Mesa for these years. We just wanted to talk about some of the projects that SRP has been doing with the city of Mesa and working together. So Linda, you shared with us some of what you see coming. What are some of the projects that you're excited to see coming here with the city of Mesa?
Well, most of our growth is in the East Valley, including Mesa, so we're working on a ton of projects. There's one in particular that we're working on with Mesa, and that would be looking at the potential of raising Bartlett Dam and adding 115 acre-feet of water if that is successful. And the city of Mesa is one of 23 partners on that project where if that happens, when it happens, a portion of that water will come to the city. So Chris is always looking for the future instead of just looking at the right now. And this is a very big picture view he's looking at. This is going to take years, but when and if it's completed, it will definitely help the city.
You know, Mary, so a lot of people, when you think of SRP, you may first think about power, which, you know, it's rightfully so, but, you know, SRP start getting in the power business, they had the water business first, right? Then they figured out, well, the water can create power and the same users of water. So the partnership with SRP as both a major power provider as well as a water provider is so important. The major reservoirs, the major reservoirs of water in the state, SRP manages all those, and the opportunity to look for additional new sources of water at Bartlett and raising the level of the dam. It'll take years to get there, but you have to start now. And so it's been a great partnership looking to the future. And when you live in the desert, power and water are crucial.
Right.
So.
Right. Chris, are there any other future projects that you see coming in partnership?
Listen, there is so many, the Southeast Mesa and everywhere around Mesa Receipt Development, they all need power. And they don't need just a little bit of power. They need a lot of power. And as Linda was saying earlier, it's getting hotter. The demand by these manufacturers, whether it's a data center or even a manufacturer or just residential growth, they all need power. And so we're always working with SRP to look out into the future and see what the needs are. Now what's happened is that demand from the growth has happened so fast that we often hear that we just, getting to them quickly enough has really become the biggest challenge. But SRP has been very flexible and adaptable to try to make that happen. But when you look at the scale and the amount of energy coming into just Southeast Mesa, it's just incredible, right? I mean, to provide these data centers and now manufacturing centers, but when people talk about economic development is getting power to the users. And so I would say all of those projects that you see in Southeast Mesa are important, and there's more coming, but some of them are just waiting for the power to show up, right? And I can think of one like Zenergy. It's out there on the east side of Gateway Airport. What's cool about them, they're cool because they provide cooling systems for these big data centers, but it reduces the water consumption tremendously. But again, they're in the manufacturing business. They need lots of power. So we're excited to continue to see that growth. And thanks to our partnership with SRP, it will happen.
Yeah, great. And truly, Mesa has expanded as it has because of Chris's vision and working with our partners like SRP and all to make this successful and make it what it is today and the growth that's happening. So it was a lot of Chris's foresight. Chris, you want to share what you're going to be doing here in retirement? I think that would be interesting, what you and Shauna have planned.
Yeah, so that word retirement kind of sometimes suggests going and taking it easy. I don't think that's what my next 3 years is going to be. So back in November, Shauna and I were asked to serve as mission leaders for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So we have been assigned to serve in that capacity beginning in the end of June. So we'll be in Mexico City, the northwest part of that city for 3 years, having the opportunity to work with the young missionaries you often see around in your community. So, what can go wrong with 18 to 21-year-olds in a foreign country? I just can't imagine. It should be really easy. I'm sure I'll never miss being a city manager. But we're excited. This is an opportunity for us to do something with our faith and being able to continue providing service and doing that having a great adventure.
That's awesome. And Chris already speaks Spanish, right? And then you guys are both
Yo
learning.
no hablo español.
Yo hablo español, And Shauna's learning it too, so that's wonderful. That's going to be a wonderful venture for both of you. And then you'll go, man, 4,000 employees was way easier to manage.
Police and firemen, they're a breeze.
I think PD and fire probably give Chris most of your headaches that you've had over the 20 years, right?
Yeah, people who can poke needles in people's arms and people who carry guns.
Right,
again,
right.
What could go wrong?
Right. Chris, thank you. Chris, we appreciate all you've done for the city of Mesa. We want you to hold on stage a minute. Linda has something for you.
Oh.
I do. So knowing that you're moving to Mexico City, I wanted to give you something that wouldn't be heavy or that
Thank you.
would take up little
Go
room.
past customs.
Oh, we didn't check on that. No. My colleague Elin, here in the back with me,
Yeah.
she is very familiar with Mexico City
Oh.
and knows excellent restaurants, and so
Good.
we have gift cards for you and
Oh,
Shauna
wonderful.
to,
Thank
send
you.
dinners out.
Thank you very much. That's very thoughtful. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much,
All right.
both of you, for coming up
Thank
here.
you.
Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary.
All right. Thank you.
9 to 5.